Today we are going to go over the careers page and how to edit it, as well as how to edit the careers application. Typically when you log in, this is the first screen you'll see. On the left hand side you'll want to go to pages. All the pages on the site are listed here. The easiest way to find the page you're looking for is to search it, so we're going to search the careers page first. There's an old one here that you don't need to worry about, but we're going to go into this one. It's currently saved as a draft. Once we have copy in there, it will not say draft next to it. Since we are logged into the back end of the site, when we go to that URL, we can see what the page looks like. When you're not logged into the back end of the site, it will not show you this page. So we're going to click careers. Typically when I'm editing a page, I pull it up on the back end, which would be here on WordPress, as well as what it looks like on the front end here. The pages correlate in order, so our first section here will be the banner with some text over it, which is found here as well. If you want to edit this text, there's two ways to edit it. There's a visual side as well as a text side. The visual side shows you the stylings that are associated with it, whereas the text shows you the code. Typically when I'm editing text and I want to keep the styling, I always edit it on the text side. If you start typing in here, it could come up as any sort of style. Usually it takes the last style, but I always just do it on the text side to make sure that I'm getting the right style that I want. So if I wanted to change out this title, I would type in whatever I want there. Make sure you keep these tags, they're called tags H6, on either side to make sure it maintains the style. So that's the first section on the page here. The next section will be the job listings themselves. So this is what we call an accordion module, which means that these sections open and close. So we go back on the back end of the site. Here's our second module, which is the accordion, and it has all of the job listings in here. This is all in one accordion module. So the first section here would be the Greenville Branch Manager, which we can see is the title here, and then when we open that up, the job description and apply now button are here. So here's our job listing and then the description below. Again, all of this is in visual or in text. I would always edit it in text. If you have your job description, you can highlight this and copy and paste the description in there, and it'll keep that same styling. The buttons are already programmed to go directly to the job application form. If you wanted them to go to a different URL, you would copy and paste the URL in this href equals inside of the quotes is where you would put the URL. So we have 3 jobs listed on the front, so we have 3 jobs on the back. We have 1, 2, 3. They're all set up the same way. If you wanted to add another one, you would hit add row. This is where you would put your job title, and in here is where you would put the description. If I were adding a job, I would just go to the text side of a previous job, copy and paste all of this over to this one, and then edit and then update the description. Essentially, the job description line and the button should always be the same because it's always going to say job description, and it's always going to say the button's always going to go to the job application form. After you're done making your edits, you can scroll to the top. Make sure you can preview the changes if you'd like. And usually if this page is published, it will say update. So make sure if you make any changes that you want to save, you always click this button. Typically, if you go to leave the page when you haven't saved it, which I'm actually not going to do today, if you go to leave the page, it warns you. So you would just hit cancel and make sure you hit update. Like I said, I'm not going to save it today, but when you do, make sure you hit update. So now we're going to go back to pages. Oops, we're going to hit leave there. Next, we're going to go over the application page. So the application page is essentially in 2 parts. There's the page part of it, which is everything above the form, and then we put in code for the form. So first I'm going to show you the page. So we're going to go to join the SC Telco team is the name of the application page. Again, this one is a draft. Once we have it live, it won't say draft there anymore. So this is very similar to the last page. Header image with some text. Then below that we have some copy. Same thing here. Header image with some text and then some copy. Oops. And then you'll see in this section here you'll see formidable, which means it's pulling in a form. So this you should never have to edit on this page. Where you'll find the form if you ever need to edit it or access any of the entries, you're going to go to Forms on this left-hand side. And we're going to look for the job application form, which is here. You'll click in here. Here's the whole form separated out, the fields that you need to fill in. If you need to change any of this, it's fairly simple. The text can be edited in here. If you want to change this to email instead of occupation, you would just type over occupation. And same thing with this. If you wanted to do marketing instead of finance, you would just put marketing over top of that and it would save there. Same thing with this form. You want to make sure any changes you make, you update, hit the update button to make sure it saves all your changes, and it will automatically pull into that page that the ID is already on for this form. A couple other things you'd want to look at in the form is settings. This is where it will show you who the form is going to, so we're going to go to Form Actions. This just means that when somebody fills out the form, what happens after. So I have Mallory's email in here to make sure that it goes to Mallory when a form is submitted. You can add multiple emails if you wanted to do Jessica in there. You can type her email. And then this will show you the form filled out in your email. So you don't need to touch anything. The only thing you might need to add is an email or change an email in here if you want it to go to somebody else. The last thing I'll show you is all the entries are saved in the back end as well. So here they are. You can click into each one and it'll show you what they filled out for each answer. The other way you can do it is download a CSV file, which will download an Excel spreadsheet of everybody that's ever filled it out. You can also delete them if you want. You would just check these. You can check all of them or a couple, click delete and hit apply. So that's the careers page and the careers form. All these are on the back end of the site, saved for you in case you need them, and that's the careers page.